I don't usually do videos about abortion. I don't even argue about it most of the time because it's a very emotionally charged topic that I find that people on both sides have a hard time staying objective and non-emotional about. It's an argument that you just can't win, so why even bother? But I stumbled across this video that makes a really ridiculous argument, and I mean other than the whole religious nonsense that comes along with it. So let's get into the whole abortion is murder thing and find out why it's total bullshit.
Let's talk about the morality of abortion.
Right there, you get into a problem because morality is subjective. And I know this will get theists howling, but it's true. You cannot find a single moral precept that has been held universally by all peoples, in all cultures, at all times. It just doesn't exist. If morality were universal, we wouldn't be arguing about it because everybody would hold the same views.
Some people believe in God and some people don't.
Which has nothing at all to do with anything, especially not the supposed subject of this video. Unless, that is, you allow your irrational religious beliefs to interfere with your rational thought processes, which, yeah, that's exactly what happens.
In the God scenario, this would be the situation. Sperm fertilizes the egg. Some would say that the moment the genetic material from the sperm combines with the genetic material from the egg to create a unique strand of DNA, God or some higher power bestows that new unique life with a soul. Others think this happens sometime between this moment and the moment the child's born. Either way, at some point there's a soul attached to the new life sometime between here and here.
There is no evidence that souls exist. Souls are as imaginary as gods are. All you can say is that sperm and egg meet, new genetic pattern exists. That's it.
But let's face it, there's no medical device that can measure the presence of a soul.
And that's why there's no reason anyone with half a brain should believe in one. The fact that it makes you feel good to think one exists, or that you have a book of ancient mythology that tells you to believe in one, that's not a good reason to believe they exist in factual reality.
And for all you atheists out there that argue that is because there is no soul, I'll get to in a second.
You do that, but we're just following the evidence, or in this case, the entire lack thereof. Let us know when you have anything we can objectively examine. I think that's going to be a long wait.
But if you believe in a soul, generally speaking, you believe the soul enters the body somewhere between here and here. So if you end life here, or here, or here, you really need to have an exact measurement on whether or not that life has a soul, or you're risking killing a being with a soul, which is, simply put, committing murder.
Wrong. And this is exactly where the entire video goes terribly wrong. See, murder is a legal term. It means killing a human outside of the purview of the law. So long as abortion is legal, no abortion can possibly be murder, imaginary soul or no. So you're simply arguing nonsense.
If you don't believe in a soul, it's actually kind of worse.
Nope, it's actually the same once you understand what murder actually means.
Let me explain. Let's say, for example, there is a God, and God sends that soul into the new life as it forms at conception. That soul or that entity is residing inside the vessel of its physical body. So if you kill that body, depending on what you believe, that being goes back to heaven or a new plane of existence or is reborn as a rabbit or something. Doesn't matter. That being still exists beyond the body, and its unique identity is preserved.
Which is just downright stupidity. See, it doesn't really matter what you believe, it matters what actually is. It doesn't depend on what you believe at all, because what you believe may or may not accurately reflect reality. Your beliefs matter only so far as they're actually true, and without any evidence whatsoever for the existence of souls, your beliefs are entirely meaningless.
But if there is no soul, that unique entity, it's a collection of its atoms, its molecules, its cells, its DNA. It's a one-of-a-kind DNA strand that doesn't exist anywhere else in the universe. So if you destroy that entity, whether it's at 2 weeks, 2 months, 9 months, that unique being is forever snuffed out of existence. It doesn't move on, it just ceases to exist. You are cosmically erasing that life form from the universe. Even if the same two people conceive again, the new life will have completely different DNA. It'll be nothing like the life that was destroyed. That being is just gone.
So what? This isn't fucking Pokemon. You don't have to catch them all. Even if it is unique, that doesn't make it special. It doesn't make it worthwhile. In the real world, about 20% of all pregnancies end in miscarriages, mostly before the woman ever knows she's pregnant. They simply fail to implant and are flushed from the body naturally. I don't see the religious whining about that, do you? And if you believe in a God and think that everything happens for a reason, well, that makes your God the biggest abortionist ever. You still bow down and kiss his ass. Explain that one to me, please.
So whether you believe in God or not really isn't the issue. It's hard to make a moral justification for ending the existence of a life that is unique and defenseless.
Who cares? Every time you have a hamburger, a completely unique cow had to die for your sandwich. Every time you breathe, you destroy millions of unique bacteria. Every second you're alive, your white blood cells are hunting down and destroying tons of unique viruses and other foreign life forms. You're nothing but a human abattoir. But I don't see you complaining about that, do I?
And that's what abortion is. God or no God.
No. Abortion is giving freedom to someone who's an actually useful human being to make decisions that you might not personally like. There's nothing morally wrong with it. In fact, the people who argue that there is are just being hypocrites, considering how many unique life forms they just quote-unquote murder on a daily basis. As I was writing this, I was eating a turkey sandwich. A turkey, a unique life form, died so I could do so. The cultures that made the cheese possible died in the process. Whatever grains went into the bread were killed so I could consume their proteins. Who knows how many germs and viruses and other life forms died due to vaccinations and fertilizers and other natural and man-made compounds that were used in the growth and harvesting process. But you don't care about any of that because, let's be honest, you're a speciesist. You only care about yourself and your own kind, which makes you a hypocrite. And when it comes to religion and the irrational, hypocrisy's pretty standard, isn't it?